I'm actually not gonna be getting on live for a while. Still, just don't feel like getting on. Um, but I guess I keep y'all updated on what's been going on with me. I fell down recently. Lost my driver's permit. I wasn't ready to pay the program the amount of money that they're asking for me to, continue on with my driver license opportunities. So that's going to have to remain focused on that and also get focused back on my fitness, which I let go. Uh, Shit. I've gained weight as well. I'm back to 230. Just kind of just lost myself. Yeah. Be right back. Eat what? I'll be there for you. So in this thing they gave me not what I make though. I gotta get rid of this stuff, man. None of that shit matters, bro. I'm no longer after it. Doesn't matter. None of it fucking matters. Ah, I even got space for this shit, man. Fuck. Kind of pain I'm sipping low, backhand, you outside of smokers. I told you, OSG, nigga. GIB to my fucking soldiers. All right, put this back over here. Yeah, I said fell down, guys. Not getting out here as often no more. I need to fix my life right now. Kind of like not good mentally, you know? With me overeating and me losing my driver's permit this year because it expires and I didn't even get a chance to get my license because, just going through circumstances that I wasn't prepared for or didn't prepare myself for while I was going through it. I just let too much time go by without trying to overcome my obstacles. And now I have to retake my written test over again to get a new driver's permit again. And then when I get the new driver's permit, I'll have to go to a driving program And hmm, is that what is that? Uh, you know what? I'm just so tired, man. I'm tired of having to do this and having to do that just to have shit in my life. Like you gotta do certain stuff just to have stuff in your life. And I'm just tired. I'm so tired of it, man. Tired of having to I'm tired of things having to be so fucking hard, you know? Like even when it comes to like buying a car, like that is extremely hard to do, to be able to have the enough amount of money to get a car because the cars are so expensive these days, right? So you gotta have that. You gotta have all the money just to buy it. And if you don't have all the money to buy it, they'll still give you the shit, but they'll still make you broke because you'll be paying an expensive car note. So there's just so much obstacles you gotta overcome just to have something, and it's just so annoying. Like I've made it to $5,000 and I'm still far behind from what I need to succeed in this life, you know. Um, and I guess it's just so annoying, to know that you're not ahead, you're still far behind is exhausting. Um, and I'm far behind when it comes to fitness too. I don't have a fitness brain, you know. And I still want to be in shape and all this other shit, and can't even overcome that shit right now. So many setbacks. I'm lonely. I don't have nobody to talk to. So they're building a grocery store and a gym by my house. So if the gym that they build actually has a reasonable monthly subscription rate, then I'll get me another gym membership again. Trying to see if I can log into my ESS. Shut the fuck up, you stupid iPhone. Like you don't know shit. You don't know shit, man. Man, I used to get on here so much, talk about shit, and it could be bullshit or it could be true shit. Now I don't even want to get on here and talk to you guys right now. That's why I've been off. I haven't been live lately, 'cause I know I haven't been writing in my mind. So I just didn't want to get on here, and express my thoughts. Just didn't gotta be mentally well to do this shit, to go live and talk to you guys. And your mental has to be in a good state just to get through it, with the whole YouTube shit. I was on Netflix last night and I found out, I think I still should watch this doc because he got so much information on it because Netflix make good docs. So I was on Netflix last night. I found out in the 1930s or 1920s or like 1800s, however far they went back, right? That humans were allowed, no matter the age, they were allowed to drink, they were allowed to smoke, they were allowed to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. Now I'm talking about decades back in time with humans. and there was still law in the United States, but it wasn't enough law. It wasn't enough government, so they allowed the humans to just do whatever the fuck they wanted. They still had laws, but like I said, an 8-year-old drinking alcohol or smoking, this as children. You know what I'm saying? Like they allowed humans to do this shit. I was just like, wow, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Or like, what else was there that was wild? That's crazy as fuck, man. Or like the alcohol we drink to this day. There are certain alcohols that are on the shelf that were being made back in, I want to say back in the 1900s or the 1800s. There were alcohols that are still selling to this day that were made way back then. That's when it started, and there's humans behind it, or as creating that alcohol and making it live on for centuries and decades upon decades upon decades. What I found out is that, and what's crazy was even back then, even when I'm going so far back in time, I remember America had made alcohol illegal too at one point in humans' lives. And then I remember, I think America's made alcohol is legal, but it's still illegal. They kind of like made it into a balance. Because I remember when they took it away from the humans, I think it kind of messed up the humans' way of living. And they saw it and they were just like, all right, let's bring alcohol back. you know, or even with the weed. I remember they for in the 1900s or just early 1900s, I think weed was legal. You know what I'm saying? This doc was just was feeding people information that either I don't know because I was born in '94. So a lot of this stuff that they're talking about was way before my time, or they're giving this information to people that just weren't born in this time, so they won't know, you know, what was transpiring in the world back then. You know what I'm saying? You only know this shit as if because humans document shit so people can remember what transpired, you know. So like when I want to like go back, get on Netflix and like really look at those docs still because I didn't really watch it like that, but I was just surprised how alcohol was illegal back then, right? And you can go to jail for it too. Like just selling alcohol to people were illegal. I remember it was a way for people to make money. And I think the government, anything that wasn't legal back then, the government wanted a hand in it because the government wanted to make money too. You know, the government I feel like was like, okay, if the humans are making money doing this shit, we could take control of it and make money. So that's what it really comes from. The government like coming into certain shit or certain products and putting their hands on it to where they could create laws for it or whatever it is they want to create for it, still sell it to the humans, but have a piece of that, you know. Like even with taxes, I think taxes was created because the government wanted money from whatever it was that humans was providing to humans. You know, they were like, okay, if you're gonna sell this to the majority of humans, we want a percentage. You know, so that's how taxes became a thing too for Americans. Because they didn't used to have taxes. Um, man, sex was rampant. Sex is still rampant to this day, but man, I feel like back then when you was a human, it was probably easier to get sex, bro. Like you didn't have to go through a lot of this shit that a lot of humans go through. You don't even got to go through half of that shit back then if you wanted sex from a bitch. Um, like this shit was just like, damn. And shit was less cheaper. Like even if you had to pay to fuck a bitch, you didn't have to pay much money. Cause hoeing a woman selling pussy that shit been around for decades, bro. I mean, decades. That's why that and the only reason and I think it's like shit don't never die. All it is just newer humans playing the game, and it's new rules elevated to the game that's being played to this day. For me living in this world, they're just new rules, new humans doing it, evolution, of shit, and things are just moving different. But but I think a lot of shit what we see been going on, it was just a lot different, a lot easier. You probably had easier access to it back in the day because back then you had the Great Depression. And also not to mention the Great Depression, but you also have what humans things weren't so expensive as well. Like the American dream or whatever it was that humans want to call it, it was easier to reach back then because things weren't so expensive. You know what I'm saying? Humans were able to just work wherever job they wanted to work and make enough money to be able to live, man. You know what I'm saying? But back then it was a lot of lawlessness too. Like it was this doc was like really interesting with humans and just America in general, man. It was pretty crazy. I need to look at it again. Um, the game that humans play right now is called like the lottery. Like humans were playing lottery back then, and the lottery was illegal back then. So a lot of things that were illegal back then is legal now because, like I said, if it made money, the government wanted a piece of that. And they wanted to make it legal for you. They wanted it's like if it's only legal because the government got their hands in it. But um, anything if there was a human in this world making too much money and it was illegal, the government would be like, okay, we can make it legal, but we want to control it. So it's more like the government controlling things to stop other humans from making as much money as they were making, though those things were illegal back then. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. And also, I think humans were more. I also think back then, there's always been a there's always what am I trying to say? Humans, humans always hated, and I don't want to say hated, but had this deep, dark, like maybe it is hate because what I'm trying to say is what am I trying to say? Like protesting, I want to say, well, instead of me saying hate, let's just say this. Protesting back then when you wanted to get something done, I felt like humans were way more connected together to get it done. Meaning Black Americans in the 1900s, 1800s, early 1900s, right? If they wanted to protest something, to stop people from certain races from making money or whatever it was, guess what, guys? They did that shit, bro. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like how they were able to protest certain businesses or whatever it was that humans were doing back then to stop other businesses from making money. But this built America though. Like, if you think about it, alcohol. So Jack Daniels is a real human, and he made a alcohol drink and placed his name on it. Right, the alcohol. He went through hell selling that alcohol, bro, back in his time, because he was getting arrested for it. He was just going through so much. He was an outlaw, but he was going through so much to get the Jack Daniels shelf, because that's all he knew. And he like, bro, like this drink has to sell to humans. Like, there's no way, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, man, it was so much sin, so much it was murders going on back then too, man. Like, nigga, it was going down, man. It's going down to this day though when it comes to humans. and shit. But like a lot of shit had just changed. Some shit changed for the better, and some shit changed for the worse. You know, when you really think about it, in this day and age, now that we're in 2026, humans have evolved. But a lot of things that have evolved for the worse, I think, as well. You know, um, like you know what's crazy about humans, bro? Like, like back then when they created the cigarette, um, like humans, but humans didn't know cigarettes was going to cause cancer and all these health effects towards humans, right? Just like alcohol does, but you know they didn't know because you don't know what you don't know. And when they finally understood what was going on with the cigarette, they still allowed the cigarette to sell, which is crazy, bro. They like the government didn't stop um certain humans from making the cigarette, or how the government made weed illegal, as well. That was just a way to lock people up too. It was just yeah, it was just a crazy time back then for humans. Like they were fighting for their rights to sell products to humans, but what I think is I think they could have stopped the cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it's called. If you ever want to check out this doc, because I'm going to keep this live. I ain't letting it go, man. It's called The Booze, the Bets, the Sex That Built America. So a lot of what I'm talking about pretty much had a part in building America what it is to this day. You know? Man, we hoes getting that pussy off, man. Ooh, shit, man. But yeah, like I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna catch y'all back the next one. I don't know when I get back on this live. Like I said, it's probably gonna be a while before I get back. My life's not where I want it to be right now. Like I said, I fell down, and I'm just trying to pick myself back up right now. So I'm just going through. I don't know what it is I'm going through, but I know I'll overcome whatever it is, and figure out a way back to you guys. I'll be back.